This is quick details about me, my blog, ways to reach me, things I do for fun. This is Shreya.
I'm a computer science major, as many of you might be, yeah.
Okay, essay writing skills. Again, I'm not going to talk about how to write essays, things I want you guys to be careful about. And notice this even in Shreya's essays, there's a format to the essays, guys, and please don't forget that, because this guy who's reading your essays, guy or gal, is reading about 30, 40 essays a day, and they're going crazy. They're expecting a certain format. You don't have to have a catch to get the attention, but if you don't get the guy or gal's attention in less than the first 1 minute, you're going to be fighting for the next 6 minutes to get your point across. Okay, you got to make your point very quickly, right? What you're beginning with, make sure your prompt is, you know what the prompt is actually asking. I'll have a punch. This is, again, we made these mistakes. Our essays did not have a punch. We didn't finish with a powerful thought, like something which can tickle the guy, saying, you're still wondering, or you're still in your Freudian dilemma or something, right? Or retell, summarize what you said, recap what the prompt was, make it easy for that guy or gal to feel good about your application. It can't be a freaking rant, okay? Make sure you make that point very clear. So Bill, in fact, that is the topic, the next one we're going to talk about, which is we're going to talk about early action versus early decision. Okay, so for example, early decision is binding, okay, which means if you accept early decision, you are expected to, you are committed, you are contractually bound by that school to to not accept any of the school and get rid of all the other applications. And if you don't do that, a lot of bad things can happen. So your own school will be after your tail to make that happen. It's binding. We'll talk about what restrictive early action is, REA. We'll talk about early action, which is non-restrictive. We'll talk about non-binding. What is REA? This is Harvard and all these consortium of these big guys, right? These 2-3 schools are, Ivies have it, right?
Yeah, it's Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. Yeah, it's mostly the Ivies and Stanford and stuff. You cannot EA anywhere else if you have an REA. You cannot EA to any private university if you have an REA.
Tons of ED versus EA. Most of you are masters at these things. So it's a state school. This is what your college people are looking for. This is what colleges need to see. It's not rocket science. It's these 6 things which they want to see. Your GPA matters, and in 9th grade and 10th grade, that's really all you're focusing on, which is fine. Keep focusing on that. Make sure you're getting the A's and B minus. Careful how many do you take on. Quality matters more than quantity. Demonstrated interest is very important. If you're going to be applying to a school and you have a major in mind, like for example, Shreya was applying to apply to chemistry majors. She had a lot of demonstrated interest ready. We had done Science Guru's internship in chemistry. Her internship mentor was Jagat, who had given her great kudos about the work she had done. She had done a lot of research in that area. She knew what she was talking about, right? So there was a lot of demonstrated interest in that. In liberal arts, she talked about science, about society at general. She had done campaigns for hunger management and for the homeless. She had done a lot of work, so she showed a lot of demonstrated interest. She had several extracurriculars which intrigued Wellesley. She was playing badminton. She was into National History Day. Some of her recommendation letters from her counselors were phenomenally talking about how she struggled in college, the kind of things she struggled with. They were kind of a continuum. So when her resume was seen by Wellesley, which is a top 30 school, it was nothing but a surprise over there. Test score, she had a pretty good score. She had a 34. Like I was talking to this kid one today. He has a 1450 on SAT and he's like, I'm going to give it again. This kid he's a senior right now. There's about 2 months left to finish up his application. He's still thinking of going and doing an SAT because he thinks 1450 is not good enough. That's just marketing. SAT and ACT keep you out. They don't get you into a school. So know the 75th percentile of that school, apply accordingly. Okay, did it, and she got lucky, I would say. Professors responded, which was nice. But start doing that from 10th grade, 11th grade. And if you've not done it so far, guys, at least reach out to 2-3 professors. Please do that, and they will respond back. And particularly if it's a small school, they will absolutely respond back. If you write about something they've done, you find interesting, and tell them what you've done, put your resume along with that, saying, hey, can I get 10 minutes of your time on a call? I'm going to do a blog later about the kind of questions you can ask them as well. So if you're shy about questions, we're doing a workshop about that as well. will help you, but try to start building these rapports. Even now, nothing is lost. September, you can still do it. Okay.
I'd like to make a point on that. I have like I think I talked about this a little bit last time too, but if anyone wants like kind of a generic email format to like send professors notes, I can definitely send that out too. Just because it's like, it's really easy. It's just people get scared, like social anxiety. I get it. I had that too in the beginning, but if my dad didn't push me towards it, I would not have gotten any responses. So I have a format. It works. It's worked for me about 95% of the time, with the occasional not so great person who decides not to respond. But I mean, I don't know. I've had such great experiences talking to professors. One professor forgot to email me at Reed, and she responded to me like the day after I sent it, and then she forgot to respond to me, and she emailed me 3 months later saying, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot to respond again, but feel free to ask me anything else." So the professors, they genuinely, they want to help you out. Like, they're human though. So don't be dismayed if you don't get a response from like 1 or 2 or even 3. Just keep trying again and again. For that, just send the email again a week later. There's a 95% chance they just forgot to respond. Like, there's times where I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have like 50 emails, I'll look at 2, and I'll just never respond to them because I just go back to sleep after that. So just send another email and they most likely will respond. So you want to be kind, not just for college.
Our process was, there's room for everybody in these colleges. There are like 3,000 to 4,000 different colleges. So don't panic. Don't think that there's only the top, 30, 40 schools in the country, because most of you, 95%, even I'm sure even Shreya can't tell you more than the name of 40 schools today. Okay?
Yeah, I definitely, don't allow procrastination is a really important one. I started my essays in the summer, and actually the biggest one that I started in the summer, I think I only got 1 or 2 done during the summer, like fully done, and one of them was my Common App. And so that's the big one that you're going to be looking at. The Common Application is your biggest friend here. Like, that's the one you want.
Honestly, Shreya, I disagree. At a principal level, I hear you what you're saying about the Common App, but to your point, which you said last week, you have friends who had done like 9 iterations of the Common App. How many of your friends actually spent doing even 3 iterations of why Wellesley or why Harvard?
I know someone who focused so much on their Common Application that they wrote their why essay like a night or 2 before, and they wrote the wrong school's name in that process. Wow.